So I've boiled down the essential traits of Revati into 4 categories. If you're ready to learn them in about 10 minutes, then stick around. Revati Nakshatra is a small circular group of stars based on Zeta Piscium. It spans from 16 degrees 40 minutes to the end of the 12th sidereal Rashi, which is currently from 10 degrees 46 minutes through 24 degrees 6 minutes of tropical Aries. Its circular shape inclines it to be symbolized by a drum. You'll find out why in a minute. It's a Mridu Nakshatra. That means it's soft and sweet and very good for love. Its Devata is Pushan. Pushan means to nourish and increase something. So Pushan is the nourisher and the increaser, and that's also what the name Revati means. Revati is from the root rid, which means to increase and nourish and bring prosperity. So Revati means she who is prosperous, she who is nourished, she who is beautiful, she who is enriched. And Pushan is the nourisher, the enricher, the beautifier, the prosperity bringer. The first category of symbolic associations for Revati is that she's gentle, loving, generous, and devoted. She symbolizes prosperity. That's the second category of symbols: prosperity, wealth, etc. Beauty, we can call that a third, even though it's a type of prosperity. Revati is very, very beautiful. The name itself, Revati, means so beautiful. Intelligence, the fourth type. Intelligence to be a guide, a protector, and a pathfinder, a means finder. Those are the 4 traits: intelligent, beautiful, prosperous, and loving. Now let's look at Pushan and see how this Devata illustrates these traits. Rig 656 says that Pushan is a vegetarian. Pushan enjoys curd and rice just as much as Indra enjoys soma. To be kind, to be gentle, to be compassionate. Not to kill things unnecessarily just because you like the way they taste. This makes you beautiful. To be loving and compassionate and kind makes you beautiful, makes you prosperous, like Pushan. And when you eat well, and you don't eat junk that's decaying and producing poison, then your body becomes healthy. And when you're healthy, you become beautiful. In this 57th mandal, Pushan is described as generous with affection. See, so he's very affectionate, he's very kind. And that's what Revati is like. It's very affectionate and kind, it's non-violent, and it's very generous. The second verse of the 53rd mandal says that Pushan is very liberal. He's free, he's liberal, he's not stingy, he's giving, he's very generous. In fact, the very next text says that Pushan's presence changes people. It makes a miserly person into a charitable person. It makes a very cruel person feel very compassionate. So Pushan's influence, Revati's influence, is to bring compassion and to bring charity, generosity, a giving nature. The next couple of verses say that he has a stick for making sure the cows and things go the right way, but he can use this stick to destroy greed and selfishness. And what does he replace the greed and selfishness with? Devotion and love. So Revati is very devotional, very loving, very kind, very non-violent, very compassionate, very generous nakshatra. There's 2 ways to become great. One is exemplified by Indra and drinking his soma. Indra is over there in Jeshta drinking his soma and having a party with dancing girls, taking every political opportunity possible and killing and espionage and all that stuff to maintain his power and greatness. That's one way to do it. But the other way to do it is Pushan illustrates. Pushan is eating rice, becoming so beautiful and healthy and prosperous. And so, between the two approaches, which one is better? The Pushan approach is actually better because it's more long-lasting and it sets up a bigger victory for the whole of society. The Indra's approach is just good for him only. Pushan's approach is good for everybody, so it actually endures longer. Indra always has enemies trying to attack him. Pushan doesn't. You become prosperous by being generous. People then love you. And then people then help you. That's why in the 10th chapter of Gita, Krishna says, Nitirasmi jigishatam. That the best way of achieving victory is through moral means. So Pushan represents great prosperity, achieved through love, devotion, and so on. So he's described as a cow herder, and a goat herder, and a horse keeper. So he takes care of animals, and that's his wealth. You see, that's the equivalent of wealth, actually. These days we have paper money, but it all comes down to food and a place to live, and happiness, things which bring happiness. That's what your paper and your plastic and your electronic stuff buys you. So the real forms of wealth are not paper and plastic and electric, but the real forms of wealth are things that can produce shelter, food, and the basic pleasures of life. So that's what animals are. They're wealth. And Pushan takes care of them. He doesn't exploit them. He takes care of them. You should take care of the thing which brings you prosperity and wealth. So he's a cow herder. He takes care of cows. He doesn't eat them. So this means that he's very, very wealthy, because that's the real wealth. And the 653.9 of Rig Veda specifically says that Pushan's cows give the milk of happiness and riches. Now the name Revati itself is beautiful. Also, beauty is simply one of the prosperities. Aishvaryasya, samagrasya, viryasya, yashasa, shriyaha, jnana vairagya yoshchaiva, sarnam bhagam itangana. That's from Vishnu Purana, which it describes the 6 different kinds of prosperities. And Shriya, or beauty, is one of the 6. What's beauty really? Beauty is an indicator of health. Pushan is the nourisher. What does nourishment do? Nourishment makes you healthy. Health makes you beauty. So Pushan is very, very beautiful, and Revati Nakshatra is very, very beautiful. What kind of beauty? Well, not that skinny, skeletal beauty type of thing that people think is beautiful these days, but a classic, round, healthy beauty. Revati is very, very, very intelligent. This is also your problem these days. People think beauty is not associated with intelligence. But Pushan and Revati, they're both very, very beautiful and prosperous and very, very intelligent. Pushan is the guide. He's the pathfinder. He's an animal herder. The animal herder always knows where to go. Herding animals means you take them from one place to the other. So nobody knows their way around better than animal herders. And this is specifically why he herds horses, because he goes on paths very far. He goes far on roads. And this is why he herds goats, because he can go anywhere. Goats can go anywhere. They can find a path through any situation. So Revati is like that. It can find a path through any situation. It doesn't get lost. It gets you out of being lost. It always knows the directions. It always knows the roads. It always knows the way to get from here to there. And that's intelligence. Getting from here to there means having a starting point, having an objective to reach, and knowing how to get from the starting point to the objective. Knowing how to get from the cause to the effect. That's intelligence. So Revati is very, very intelligent. The Rig Veda 654.1 and 2 says that Pushan guides human beings. He sends them guides to show them the right way and the right goal and the best way to get to that goal. And whenever you lose something and you want to find it, you do a sacrifice for Pushan. Pushan allows you to find your way and to find things that you've lost. The Revati has those qualities as well. And this is what this drum is also about. In the old days when people would walk together long distances, there would be somebody beating a drum, playing a flute, so that you can keep time with each other, and if in case you get lost, you can hear the sound and go back in the right direction. And animal herders always have some kind of instrument, like a flute or a drum, to call the animals. So Pushan has a drum, and he keeps the animals following him with the drum. There you go. Now you know everything that you need to know about Revati Nakshatra. You may think, oh, you didn't tell me what XYZ in Revati Nakshatra means, but you have brains, and you can figure it out. It's a soft nakshatra. Put a soft planet in there, and it's going to be good in the ways indicated by that planet's symbolic portfolio. I'm not going to walk you through every one of those things in this video, because you're a grown-up, and you have your own brain, and it works better if you figure it out yourself anyway. Revati is well suited for benefic planets, gentle planets, and not so well suited for the harsh planets. So tell us in the comments what you have in Pushan and what kind of experience you had. That's helpful for everybody to know. And thanks for the thumbs up and the subscriptions. Speaking about subscriptions, this is the last nakshatra, but it's not the last one that we're going to do in this series, because we started with Kritika. So we still have Ashwini and Bharani to do in the next 2 weeks. So make sure you subscribe. You don't want to miss those. And there's going to be tons of other videos too that you don't want to miss, interviews, all kinds of things like that. And don't forget that I'm able to give you all these videos because I wrote the book 27 Stars, 27 Gods. So please pick up a copy of that book. Thank you very much. See you next week for Ashwini.